Hi friends, in Planet Earth Dating, it's Wednesday, December 7th, 2016. In both the Lynn Life and the Jamie Body Mind, the authorized souls remain child souls from the deeper, denser dimensions, and in addition, guardians from the nature realms. We continue to have a huge issue and an ongoing issue with body snatchers, criminal thieves from above, souls coming in from larger dimensions and stealing the energy of the host lives. We don't consider harassment from above to be a good enough reason to abandon our own ironclad soul contracts, because they call us to manifest the divine plan no matter what anyone else does or doesn't do. And that seems pretty all-inclusive, and it would certainly include whatever larger souls do or don't do. What now, in order to manifest the divine plan, no matter what anyone else does or doesn't do? What now? Immediately the pencil point circles to integrity. All right, what now? In order to upgrade our own personal integrity levels to that which will actually work to manifest the divine plan, we can tune especially the upper reaches, the lower reaches, and the middle reaches of our energy body.
That's how they said it, especially. That's
okay,
true.
We can do that. Let's tune to increase our own personal integrity levels, beginning in the upper reaches first.
Yes.
Tuning higher, higher, higher up to that snowy field, way, way up high. Let's try to tune to the level of the Asha who channeled that class. And try to tune up to the level of the presence who was sending in the class, so much higher than that Asha was.
That's true.
That one doesn't seem to want to be bothered, but it's not that individual who we're reaching for, it's that dimension, that height.
That's true.
Interesting. Somebody's saying, why wouldn't he want to be bothered? I think what he thought is that he would send in that beautiful class, which was beautifully done, and that everybody would just do what they were supposed to do, and the problem would be solved, and he would be able to go on with his regular life. And we certainly understand that, because that's exactly how the souls have felt who have been working through this host life for many years. They've said, here we are in a dimension that has many, many, many problems, and we're offering this opportunity to learn an energy healing art that can address anything. It works on anything: physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, financial, interpersonal problems. All can be made significantly better and healed, literally healed.
That's true.
In miraculous ways, predictably. And it feels fabulous. It's a win-win-win-win-win. Everyone will want to do it. They're saying, go on, what did this person up here notice? What he seems to have noticed is that, bizarrely, people don't want to do what they're supposed to be doing.
That's true.
That actually feels wonderful and solves all the problems. And what's under the Band-Aid, the hidden truth, is, I don't want to do it, and you can't make me. Which is true. What now? In order to manifest the divine plan, no matter what anyone else does or doesn't do, what now? In order to upgrade our own personal integrity levels to that which will actually work to manifest the divine plan, what now? Just keep pumping up past that presence. And so to him we say, friend, we know how you feel. We felt the same way, and what we found is that it's incumbent on all of us to continue to look up and say, what now? And in such a way to stretch higher, higher. All sounds simply acting as reminders to stretch longer in both directions. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Now the focus is moving down into the lower reaches of the pillar, and here we can also tune to upgrade our own personal integrity levels. And what do I know? I notice in the introduction that they have said the presences who are welcome here are child souls from the denser, deeper dimensions and nature realms guardians. And what else do I know? I know that in this morning's work with Pan, we were talking about, somebody was talking about how the presences in the nature realms who think of themselves as guardians of the nature realms have a far more joyful experience of sentience than the nature realms presences who are just, quote, living their normal lives, unquote.
That's true.
So maybe let's do a bifurcation. We could do a bifurcation for all of us who consider ourselves guardians of something or another.
That's true.
Guardians of the nature realms, guardians of our dimensions, perhaps.
That's true.
Our own dimensions of occupation.
That's
We could do
beautiful.
that. Bifurcation, all of us who consider ourselves guardians of our dimensions, to the search for truth's central axis, all others flung away. All of us who consider ourselves to be guardians of our own corner of creation, to the search for truth's central axis, all others flung away. That also doesn't work because people are using it narrowly.
Oh, that's true.
They're saying, well, this
is
tiny
my
little corner of creation.
That's true.
All right, so it was better with dimension.
Wow.
Okay.
I know what came up in the refresh a few days ago was about the powerless, keeping the powerless safe, guardians of the
people
powerless. Yeah, that
Okay.
could be.
All of us who consider ourselves guardians of the powerless, to the search for truth's central axis, all others flung away. That feels good.
It feels okay.
Maybe of the oppressed.
That could be.
All of us who consider ourselves guardians of the oppressed, to the search for truth's central axis, all others flung away. I like that. What they're pointing out is the need to set intermediate goals, and for each of us to find something that we desperately want, and to tune to upgrade our own personal integrity levels to that which will actually work to achieve that result. For example, whoever is speaking here desperately wants to be in contact with a consistent source of truth, integrity, and inspiration. Wants that like life itself, and would be willing to do anything really to accomplish that, just to be in the presence once more of a higher vibration.
That's true.
But each of us have different things that
This is
motivate
true.
us. For example, Pan really wants to have enough to get his nature realms presences through not just this winter, but next winter, and the winter after that, and the winter after that. He wants there to be enough to feed the nature realms.
That is true.
And he feels a good barometer is collecting what we're calling the Kremlin Note. It's a huge IOU from the larger dimensions. Some big souls owe it, and we have signed it over to Pan as thanks for the guardianship that they have been providing to us. They, the nature realms, have been providing to us.
That's true.
And Pan would like to be able to collect that IOU.
Yes, very much.
Yeah, very much. So
That's
let's
true.
all tune to upgrade our own personal integrity levels to that which will actually work too, and then we can insert our own personal motivation, that thing that we want. Does that make sense?
Yes, that makes a lot of sense.
We can all do this, each of us for ourselves in every moment. There's something that we all want right now, very deeply, very truly. And to accept that increasing our own personal integrity levels has a ripple effect on the integrity levels of our ambient surroundings. And when we ourselves upgrade our own personal integrity levels, it has a ripple effect that can lead to us getting that desired outcome. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tuning to increase our own personal integrity levels, each of us for ourselves, tuning to increase our own personal integrity levels to that which will actually work to, and then say out loud that thing which we desire.
Some presence over here really, really, really wants to get the children, the child souls out of those denser packed dimensions, wants it so bad.
Okay, we'll start now giving samples.
Yes.
Tune each of us to increase our own personal integrity levels to that which will actually work to get the dead children out of the
deeper, denser levels.
and get them up to where they stand a chance of coming in contact with a consistent source of truth, integrity, and inspiration. And here, there are presences who desperately want to be in the presence of higher vibrations, so we
That's
can
true.
tune to upgrade our own personal integrity levels to that which will actually work to get us into the presence of a consistent source of truth, integrity, and inspiration.
And over here there are presences who feel like they've done a lot of bad things and they would really like to clean their record up, to have a clean record.
Tuning to upgrade our own personal integrity levels to that which will actually work to scrub our records clean, for real, not for pretend. Once more for Pan, we can tune to increase our own personal integrity levels to that which will actually work to collect the Kremlin Note. Somebody's asking, why are we using that? We're using it as a barometer. If we can collect the Kremlin Note, then it shows that there's some cracking in the shell of total lack of integrity. When the spirit world presences refuse to pay their IOUs to the point that there's literally recorded like $30 million that they owe to various and sundry presences.
That's true.
They've got no integrity.
That's true.
And so to find a crack in that, something that will allow them to at least, or not allow them, because they're allowed to pay that Kremlin Note.
That's true.
Something that will motivate them to at least pay that debt when it's presented. Run some cables, get some kids out of here. While we can.
That's true.
It's interesting. I'm watching to see whether or not there are other nature realms guardians. Maybe what we should literally do is call for nature realms guardians, presences who consider themselves guardians. I can feel some coming. They do feel themselves to be guardians.
That's true.
Okay, all who consider themselves nature realms guardians to the search for truth central axis. We don't have to fling others away.
Yeah, that's true.
To call all who consider themselves to be nature realms guardians. And I do consider myself to be a nature realms guardian. I stand for the nature realms, whoever's speaking very much. I stand for the nature realms. I stand on behalf of the nature realms. Yes, I'm a nature realms guardian. All of us who consider ourselves to be guardians of the nature realms to the search for truth central axis. All who do not consider themselves to be guardians of anything, flung away.
That's true.
All of us who consider ourselves to be guardians of the nature realms to the search for truth central axis. All who do not consider themselves to be guardians of anything, flung away. I hear a lot of marching feet, nature realms guardians coming.
I hear the feet too.
We can live stream up to that presence who peeks down the periscope.
That's true.
Or to the level of the presence who peeks down the periscope. It doesn't have to literally be that presence.
That's true.
But somebody way up high uses this as a periscope. We can set it up to that level.
That feels really good.
It does.
Correcting the errors for today, Wednesday, start to finish. Correcting the errors for the week that ends this coming Saturday at midnight. Including the omissions for the formerly videoed portions of today's efforts. Including the omissions for the day, Wednesday, start to finish. Including the omissions for the week that ends this coming Saturday at midnight.